In today's episode, we're going to experience how actively choosing a new perspective not only change your attitude, but inspire you to take action that gets you moving in the right direction so that your dream has a chance to live. That's all coming up next, right here on Stop Doubting Your Dream. Stay tuned. If you have a deep-rooted dream you long to pursue but feel held back by self-doubt, the possibility of failure, and the relentless demands of everyday life, you're in the right place. I'm your host, Jeff Meyer, and I know that taking the leap of faith to make your dream a reality and overcome the seeds of doubt planted by those who say it's too risky can feel overwhelming and discouraging sometimes, and cause you to question whether or not your dream is worth pursuing at all. But the truth is, it doesn't have to be an either-or choice. It's possible to pursue your dream without risking your stability or security in the process. And each week on the show, I'm going to show you and give you practical action steps you need to turn your dream into a viable source of income so you can live without regret, reshape your future, and create the meaningful change you want to see in the world, all without leaving your day job. So if you're someone who's ready to stop doubting your dream and start living it, let's dive in. Welcome back. This is episode 77, and today I'm really excited to give you a little bit of a taste, a behind-the-scenes look at an actual group coaching session from my signature coaching community called the Dream Accelerator. Perhaps you've heard about this community, heard me talk about it. Maybe you've heard about it in some of my posts. But today, you're going to get a snapshot of me leading my clients, actual clients, through an actual exercise that I designed to help them choose a new perspective. Sometimes our perspectives are the culprit that are keeping us stuck in neutral and not making progress. Those perspectives perhaps once served us well. Maybe they've never served us well, but we just don't know how to change our perspectives. And lately, we've become aware that these perspectives that have become ingrained in our psyche have actually become an anchor that is holding us back. But how do you change your perspective? Especially those warm, comfortable perspectives that we've always used, the narratives of our lives. How do we change them? Listen in to this session, this coaching session from my Dream Accelerator this past week, and experience the answer for yourself. All right, you Dream Accelerator lifers, I am so grateful tonight to be able to practice and illustrate and share this exercise with our audience. As we get started with this, I want to ask you a question. Give me a list, and I want you to verbally speak this out, a list of perspectives, like one word descriptors of different perspectives. I'll prime the pump and get us started, okay? So peace, contentment, courage. You get the idea? What are some one-word descriptors of perspectives that we have as people, as entrepreneurs, that are either positive or negative, that impact our journey? And I just dropped a few just there. Which ones come to mind for you?
Optimistic.
Optimistic. I love it. Others?
Joy.
Joy.
Having clarity.
Clarity. Being clear. Great.
Grace.
Grace. For others and for ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Especially as heart-centered entrepreneurs like we are, a lot of times the grace for others is really easy to comprehend, but the grace for ourselves is difficult to comprehend and to activate. We're not very kind to ourselves in the journey. What are some others? I cut you off, Amy.
Competent.
Competent.
Or confident.
Confident. Wise. Discerning. All right? So here's the exercise. You got the idea. Here's the exercise. I want you to close your eyes so you can remove the distractions that are in front of you. And I'm going to take you through a little bit of a imagination exercise. Suspend the disbelief and just walk into the room with me. Okay, here we go. You are going to walk in right now. You're going to open the door to the new perspective store. You're going to walk in the door of this beautiful space, and these shelves just littered with boxes with words on them like competent, courageous, joyful, peace, wise. There's so many. We haven't even begun to touch on all of them. And you look around the room, and you are privileged today to be able to go into this new perspective store and fill up your cart with any new perspectives that you want today, any perspectives that you need today to be able to take on whatever's in front of you, to meet any challenge that's coming as an entrepreneur, as a dreamer. All right. So take a couple moments, walk through the store. Which ones are you pulling off the shelf and putting into your cart? So you walk down the aisle. Which boxes are you grabbing? What are the words on the front of the boxes that you're grabbing? Maybe you don't see it in that aisle. You need to turn left, walk down the other aisle, and you say, oh, there's one. There's one I want. What is it? Put it in your cart. Your cart's getting full. You're starting to get a little bit excited about the new perspectives you have chosen. By the way, you have the power to choose these. We've given that to you. I'm going to pick up the tab at the checkout counter. Maybe there's one way up top, out of reach. Maybe you need a little help, a little ladder to get up to it, to grab it. Which one is that one? Seems a little beyond you, but man, your life would be different if you had that new perspective. What is it? All right, you're wheeling your cart back to the checkout counter. You're putting all those boxes out there, and you're going to take them home with you. You take them out to your car, you load them in just like the groceries, and you're on your way. All right, open your eyes. I'd love to hear what you chose. Maybe this would be a great time for you to write out the words on a piece of paper so you don't forget them. I'd love to hear what you chose. Which new perspectives from the new perspective store did you choose today?
Fearlessness.
Fearlessness.
Motivation.
Motivation.
Hopeful and able.
Hopeful and able.
Gratefulness.
Very appropriate as we approach Thanksgiving, but gratefulness is not just tied to a day. Right.
I chose eternal perspective.
Eternal. Yeah, great. Let's hear a few more.
Contentment.
Contentment.
Peace during transitions.
Peace in the transition. Good. Two more.
Connections?
Connection.
Yeah, I want to connect, always connecting.
Connecting people, connecting ideas, connecting what?
Yeah, both people and ideas. People and ideas. Yeah.
People and ideas. Love it. Love. Okay. So, guys who are listening, audience who's listening today, what did you write down? What new perspectives do you want to put in your cart? Can you name them like our Dream Accelerator participants did here today? Now, once you've got that list, and you can add to this list, you can do this. By the way, you can do this exercise anytime you want. You have the freedom to do this exercise anytime you want. Here's the question I want to ask you about your list today. How would your life and your dream pursuit change if those new perspectives were realized as you were working tomorrow? What would change for you?
I think that would eliminate a whole lot of anxiety.
Yeah. Anxiety would be minimized or even eliminated.
I think it would pause the excuses, thinking of being able and hopeful. It would remove some barriers and limit the excuses where that won't work or I don't know how. If I had the perspective of being able, then would figure it out.
Yeah. Love it.
As a writer, being fearless, I would write the things that I think I can't write. I would just go ahead and
You would just go ahead and write them. What would I write if I weren't afraid? Fearlessness as an author. Wow, that's great, Annie's.
I would positively push forward instead of being fearful and anxious about the outcome. I would just go for it.
Yeah. And leave the outcome to the outcome. Leave the outcome to God, leave the outcome to what's going to happen, right? Just take that next step. That's great. Any others?
Having an eternal perspective builds in a lot of excitement because that means to me everything that happens has a meaning and a purpose. Everything that happens has a reason behind it. So every person I talk to is filling in my life in a meaningful way. So,
Yeah.
seeing somebody at Walmart, God put us there at the same point,
Yeah.
anybody that's, around that's purposeful. So that makes life exciting.
I love it. That's great. There's no unredeemable moments.
Exactly.
There's no non-divine moments. God's in all of it. Love it. That's great. So those of you who are listening to the podcast today, as we've gone through this exercise, this is one of the things that we do in the Dream Accelerator when we gather, putting concepts and principles into creative action that help us unlock truths that help us take next steps. And so we encourage you to ask that question of yourself as you're listening today, as you've taken your list of all the things that you put in your cart of new perspectives. How will that impact your life moving forward tomorrow in your dream pursuit? If you actually put that new perspective not only in your cart and paid for it, but you use it and embrace it as your own, how would things change? What would be different? One last thing I'd like to ask the group here today. What's one action step you're going to take as a result of this little exercise? Let's move it from theoretical to from a principle to an actual practice. What's one small step you will take as a result of your trip to the New Perspective store?
I'm going to frame my thoughts positively. So instead of always jumping to the negative side when something doesn't go how I think it should, I will instead reframe that thought to a positive one, which will help with the confidence and the joy and the gratefulness and probably the motivation as well.
Awesome. I love it. Anyone else have an action step?
I will go back and read at least 2 authors who have written something that I don't think I can write. And I'm going to list what they put into it and then see if I can just craft a rough draft of this thing that I don't think I can write.
Love it. That's awesome, man. That's great. One
I
more.
think I want to learn how to walk through life relaxed.
So what's one action item, one action step you can take that will help you on that road to learn how to live life relaxed? Let's break it down because that's a big nut to crack.
I don't know. That'd be a good.
Anybody on the call have an idea for Dorothy that they'd like to share maybe?
Breathing techniques are powerful to kind of relax your body outside of the stress that happens
So
naturally.
is there something like tomorrow, a moment where you're thinking about your tomorrow that is anxiety producing normally for you? Is anything happening that's causing stress in your thinking?
Yeah, my morning routine seems to be a little rushed. So
Okay.
if I could take even 5 minutes of my morning routine to purposefully relax, think of these really wonderful things that I've chosen and
Yeah.
expect my
Okay.
day to go that way.
Love it. Beautiful. So tomorrow morning, you're going to unpack those boxes. You're going to take some time to literally look at them, hold them, unpack them, and imagine the day using them. That's great, Dorothy. Great. Amy, you were going to say something.
So in regards to Able, I'm gonna go ahead and pursue thinking about something. I've always thought of doing my journaling workshops in person because that's the model I have set up. but I had someone say they were interested in one who lives out of town. And so I'm going to move forward with imagining what would it look like to do a virtual journaling workshop, and then give that a go.
Love it. You guys are rock stars. I love how this exercise has motivated you to embrace some new thinking and actually take a small step forward. Those of you who are listening, I'd love to hear what you have to say about your action steps. You know how to reach out to me. Drop me an email at jeff@jeffmeyercoaching.com, and I'd love to hear your stories. Thanks so much for joining me today for another episode of Stop Doubting Your Dream. I hope you were encouraged as I was by this conversation, this exercise, and the discoveries that my clients made during our coaching session. This is only a small taste of what my Dream Accelerator coaching program has to offer. If you would like to find out more about the Dream Accelerator coaching program, you can visit my website. The link to my Dream Accelerator is in the show notes. Feel free to reach out. If you want to schedule a discovery call with me and find out more and maybe sign up, I would love to hear your story and see if the Dream Accelerator is a good fit for you. If you like the show, if you know someone else that might benefit by being part of our community, share this episode with a friend. Next week, we're going to take a look at how gratitude can open up the doorway to new possibilities so you can reignite the spark of anticipation and excitement as you continue your dream pursuit. Remember, the journey towards your dream begins today. Take action with a single step.